Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to another day of Kit Conspiracy. This is actually the last day of the official kits, and then starting tomorrow we will be sharing a few more layouts that we were able to do with our kits. Normally we just use our kits at the very end and create a few layouts, but I still have a few extras from the past weeks, so rather than combining them, you're going to see more layouts from each of the kits that I have done over the past few weeks. So this is actually the first layout that I did with this particular collection, and I chose to show it a little bit later in the process because, well, there wasn't really a good reason, but I just thought I'd go ahead and pop it in here for a bonus layout today. So basically this is just a bunch of photographs of the artwork by Jules Charest. And they are photographs of many of his advertisements. So he didn't really do them as artwork. They were advertisements back in the late 1800s, and they were on display. And I really love that really tall, skinny one there. It's got a ballet dancer in a yellow dress, and I think she's absolutely beautiful. And so of course I took a picture of it, and then I had several photos of the other artwork. And so I'm just trying to play with the placement because I know I'm going to do some sort of like loose grid pattern here, but my photos are different sizes. And in fact, even those ones that look like they're the same size, there are two slightly different sizes. I don't know if you can tell on the right hand side of the center photo with all of the writing on it. The bottom one is slightly smaller than the other one. And so I did have to kind of shuffle the photos around on this particular layout to get them to align and not look like there was a big gap between a couple of them. So it did take me a couple iterations of it, but I finally got it to work, and I was very happy with the way it came out at that point. I wasn't really 100% sure what I was going to do with the rest of the layout, but I thought I would put these on a block in the center and kind of to showcase that grid type of format. So this is about when I realized that my two photos on the right hand side are different sizes, and so I need to kind of shuffle those around because the lines don't match up, and it was bugging me. And you know, it might not bug most people, but I guess my type A was coming out at that particular time, and it was really bothering me because I couldn't get a straight line on that side. It had with them being two different sizes. So I am going to move it around. I just wanted to leave this portion in here to show you that it doesn't always work out the first time for all of us, and I'm sure you have experienced that as well, and sometimes we have to take another stab at it. And so this is about when I'm realizing, okay, this is not going to work out. I got to flip these around and take another stab at it, but now because they're different sizes, I'm going to have to just end up putting it onto a different piece of paper because the one that I had it on wasn't it wasn't sized right when I got everything moved around. So I'm just going to start over. I do end up using that other piece of paper for an entirely different project that is not on video or anything, but I used it for a cut file. I just flipped it over and used the other side of it. So you're not going to get to see that today or probably anytime soon, but I did end up using it. So I always kind of save that kind of stuff because even if I just am using it to test a cut file, it works out well. And that is exactly what I was using it for, is just testing out a cut file to make sure it worked. And it in fact did work. So now that I have all of these lined up, I can go ahead and cut around the entire thing, and I'm just going to mark with a pencil where I want to have my cut lines so that I have a border that is the same all the way around on all four sides. And using my pencil to do that really helped because I try to eyeball it sometimes, and then I'm like, I cut too much off. It's okay if you don't cut enough off, but when you cut too much off, then you're really up a creek because you can't really add it back. So then I decided I'm going to do some layering. I haven't figured out what I'm going to do with those blank white spaces quite yet. I do know that I want to leave one of them open for some journaling, which will probably be that top one. And then my title is going to go in one of them, which is probably going to be the right-hand one. And I wasn't really sure what my title would be at this point. I just knew I needed a space for the title and a space for some journaling, and then the third space, I don't know what's going to end up going in there. So we're going to see. Probably just another embellishment, and it works out great because it does kind of make a triangle around the photographs the way that the white spaces are laid out. Now I have these dies. I am using them to see if the word exhibit is going to fit, and it doesn't really look like it's going to fit, but because the eyes are so narrow, it does end up working, and they end up fitting perfectly. I do have a link for these dies down below if that's something that you're interested. I do love these dies. It's a cool die set because the centers cut out, and I know that sounds really weird, like the center of the B would cut out on anything, but that is not exactly what I'm telling you. So the center of the line of each X will come out if you want to poke it out. So you can have like a different color in the middle if you wanted, or you could make them really skinny letters if you wanted. So it's a cool die. And then I decided I'm going to use some of my Nuvo, not deluxe adhesive, Nuvo sparkle spray in Marine Mist, and I just put it on a foam pad on my distress tool, and I am inking up the edges of the white paper and the overall layout. And I like that because it gives a little bit of sparkle and sheen to the entire thing, and I think it looks really nice. So it works well. And if you saw my videos earlier in the week, you will know that I used it on some other layouts, and I have added some liquid glue to my sparkle sprays because the silver sparkle will come off on your hands even after it's dried, and that really is kind of annoying. So you definitely want to add a little glue if you can. So I didn't make you watch all of the gluing of all of the letters for the word exhibit, but you can see there that it fit perfectly. That was just luck that I had the exact right size of dies for that. And then I pulled out some tissue paper that has some black and white text on it, and that is from Hazel and Ruby, and it comes in a roll. I got it as a giveaway at a retreat many years ago, but I really love it. I don't use it all that often, so I have plenty of it, and it's perfect for mixed media. It's perfect for these types of layouts. I am also using this stamp from Prima that's a text stamp, and I'm adding some text to the top and bottom just to finish off that kind of left justified column that I'm creating in there. So I'm not quite right down the center, but it is creating kind of a column. And I'm liking the way that it's looking. I'm just using some of the leftover bits from the punched out pieces to create more interest. And then I pulled out the washi tape from the 49 and Market Spectrum Sherbert collection, and I'm using a couple of the postage stamp looking washi rolls just to add in a bit more color. I do also add in some of these leaves just to kind of have some organic lines in there. There's already plenty of organic lines with the background, but I wanted to add a little bit more, and I'm really liking the way that it's looking so far. And then I'm just using some black soot distress ink to ink up these additional layers to give some definition to the layers and make it so that they pop just a bit more off the background. So I'm liking the way that that is looking. I'm tucking in the washi there, and then I'm just going to go down and work on the bottom pieces here so that they all look like the items from the top kind of continue across the bottom. And I'm going to pull off a couple more pieces of washi, trying to make sure that I pull some colors that work really well. And that is kind of one of the nice things about the 49 and Market collections. A lot of times, if you're looking for the same color throughout the collection, like a red in one collection will match a red in another collection. So especially with the Spectrum Sherbert stuff, it's very universal, and you can just go from one collection to another with it pretty much. And then I pulled in these little phrase stickers from Tim Holtz. I believe they were from his collection last year. And I think they have a lot of movie quotes in them from a popular holiday movie. Probably one that I haven't seen because they are not familiar to me. But a lot of them are appropriate for this particular layout. So I thought I would go ahead and use that. Pardon me with my voice, you guys. My throat is still bothering me and I'm still struggling with that. So my apologies for any coughing that I might be doing. So the two quotes that I chose to use are "the loveliest things," and the bottom one says, "It was an artist's life I wanted." And so I thought those were perfect for this because it was an art exhibit and they are lovely things. So I'm just going to add a little bit of my ATG to the back of the entire thing to stick that down. And then I'm figuring out what's going to go in this bottom left-hand corner. I like this little faux metal piece. It really is just paper, but it does look like metal. And I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of foam tape to the back of it to make it pop up and give it a little bit of added dimension. And then I'm fussy cutting out a blue butterfly that is going to go in the center of it. And I end up really liking the way that looks. So I'm just using my Fun Foam from Walmart. It is the cheap stuff. It is adhesive backed on one side. And then the other side I use my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive to adhere it down. And the butterfly here, I am just going to put some adhesive down the center of the body and hold it there for just a few moments to kind of get it to set up. I didn't put any of the foam under the wings because the wings are actually resting on the top of that metal piece, and I figured that was going to give it plenty of support and I didn't need to add any more foam to make it pop. I'm going to add a little bit of splatter down here in this corner and then in the upper corner as well. And then that top space, I am going to leave that open for some journaling, which you're not going to get to see on camera. I don't usually do my journaling on camera. It's not very exciting to watch, but I've pretty much already told you what I'm going to say or what it's about. Adding a little bit of gold Heidi Swapp color shine, and that is it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching my video and spending time with me today. Thank you for watching throughout Kit Conspiracy, and I hope that you have enjoyed this series. Don't forget to come back in the next couple of days here. I'll have a few more videos for you, as will MK. So go and check out her channel and see what she has for you today. I'm sure she's probably got something going on, even though it's not one of our normal posting days. And we will be back to see you very, very soon. Take care and have a great day. Bye-bye.